Today we take a look at some tips and tricks to help you dominate the Ashlands in Valheim. Let's get to it. Overall, the mechanics for the Ashlands are relatively simple. There's nothing too crazy here like the stuff that we ran into for the Mistlands. The big difference between it and other biomes is there is just a lot going on. The spawns are thick and dense, and they are consistent and constant, and you are just going to be always fighting things. But nonetheless, I have compiled a list of tips and tricks that you can use to gain advantage over in the Ashlands. And we're going to start with the main gimmick of the Ashlands, which is the fortresses. First off, you do not need any siege equipment, so there are two new siege items for those of you who do not know. There is the battering ram and the catapult. Catapult is for funsies, the battering ram is what you use to siege with. However, you do not need any of them. Fortresses are extremely easy to siege because they are open top. So all you need to do is take out the turrets that are in the corners of most fortresses, and these are random. Some won't have them in the corners, some will have them in all four corners. It just depends, it varies. But you take out the turret so you have nothing shooting at you. You drop down a crafting bench, possibly a stone cutter's bench so that you can build in stone, and you just build a platform up to the side of the castle and you commence to sieging it. That's it. That's how easy they are to siege. They are also much easier to siege with magic than they are anything else. Honestly, magic is king in the Ashlands. So now that you know how easy they are to siege, let's talk about setting your base up in one, because you should definitely set your base up in one of these. And there are a few reasons for this. One, the walls for your base are already built, and two, those walls cannot be damaged by everything that spawns save the boss. So don't pick one that may be next to the boss arena. However, nothing else that spawns can damage them, which means you are safe inside your walls. The other reason is it is extremely easy to build a cap on one of these things and multiple levels because you already have the walls providing support for you, and you can build a really nice base inside of one of these. Do note that you want to build in stone. That leads to the next tip, which is you don't need a shield generator if you build in stone. I put this through significant testing, and as you can see, wood will burn if you build in wood. However, stone does not burn. And I ran through all the different environmental effects that the Ashlands can throw at you, and none of them damaged any of the stone ceiling inside the walls of the fortress. Now, obviously, if you build in stone outside the walls of a fortress, things can attack your structure, and the charred, aka the skeletons, will do an extreme amount of damage to your structures and tear them down relatively quickly. But if you build inside of the fortress, you don't have to worry about that. This next tip, I have no idea what it's useful for, but I thought it was interesting, so I wanted to include it, and that is the center part of a fortress floats. You can dig out from underneath of it, and it won't fall. It just hangs there. So theoretically, you could make a floating base with it. I don't know why you would need to, because the walls protect everything that's inside, but just in case you wanted to, you could. Let's talk about weaknesses and your best weapon options for the Ashlands. I went through and I tested everything that spawns in the Ashlands, and the only weaknesses that we have are the vultures are weak to cold, the bone maw serpent is weak to cold, the lava blob is weak to cold, and the Morgan are weak to lightning. I could not find any weaknesses for the charred. However, they don't seem to be resistant to anything either, so you can just use whatever you want to fight them. But considering the fact that the Morgan are weak to lightning and the vultures are weak to cold or lightning weapons are going to be your best bet. Ideally, if I had to choose what your best option would be, I would choose cold, as it has a slowing effect, giving you an advantage over the lightning. On top of that, vultures are way more prevalent than the Morgan, but you could also just carry one of each. The lava blobs explode. They will damage the ground, and they will do a massive amount of damage to you. Attack them at range. This is a vulture's nest. When you see a vulture's nest, destroy it. There should be vulture eggs underneath of it. It's a varying amount, so you never know how many you're going to get, but there should be a few. Stone portals can transport resources. They can transport resources that you normally couldn't transport through a portal. For example, metal, like flame metal. The interesting thing about stone portals is that in order to transport resources, you do not need to go from stone portal to stone portal. If you are only making a one-way trip, for example, back to your main base, you only need one stone portal, mainly the one that you are going to travel with the resources through. Your exit portal does not need to be stone. This will help you save on resources because crafting the stone portals is a little bit more expensive and harder than crafting the wooden portals. However, do note that the Surtlings no longer spawn in the Ashlands, so Surtling cores are going to be a bit more rare and a bit more harder to get, so you're not going to really want to be spamming those wooden portals like you used to. If you have fire spread turned on, and you should have fire spread turned on because it is absolutely broken, the charcoal kiln is now obsolete. Anything Anything that is made out of wood can burn. Anything that burns turns to charcoal. This means you can place down a stack of 50 wood and hit it with some type of fire, or just place it over top of a campfire and it will instantly burn and turn to 50 charcoal. Keep in mind that if you're watching this in the far future, I look for this to get patched out relatively soon because it is extremely broken. I'm not even sure how it made it into the game in the first place. The new lava lamp is a comfort item, which allows you to get to the max comfort level of 19. Do note that they also do not stack, just like every other comfort item. While in the Ashlands, there are a bunch of these big round stones all over the place. These are a massive advantage when in combat. If things get a little hairy, all you need to do is run up the side of one of these. It is very difficult for the AI to get up them, however they can path up them, but what gives you the advantage here is not only do you have a height advantage for a period of time, because they will eventually run to you, when they do run to you, they will run to you single file because there is only enough room for them to path up in a line. Do note that there are two paths for them to run up, so they can sneak in behind you, but using these rocks can be very advantageous if you are fighting a large group of enemies. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this one. Hopefully you all found this video helpful and informational. If you did, please consider hitting the subscribe button and notification bell so you can be notified when I upload other videos. And if you're looking for some more of my content, you can find a link to another one of my videos on the screen right now. I want to give an absolute massive shout out and thank you to all of my channel supporters for helping to keep these videos sponsor free. You all are absolutely amazing people. If you would like to become an official channel supporter, check out the links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought. If you're shy, you don't like to comment, just hit that thumbs up button and share your support. Until next time, thanks for watching.